everyone. We just saw the trailer of the festival and we were having so much fun with my guests here already. We didn't know if we are allowed to talk or not. And we were not sure what you're seeing on YouTube and Facebook. So sorry, I'm really in the laughter mode tonight. And I think my guest is also a very funny bunch. So I will introduce them in a minute. But before that, I introduce myself. That is the thing that I usually forget. My name is Bogi Fedorko. I'm based in Budapest, Hungary, and I have been working with independent theater for, I think this is my third moderated meet and greet of the season. So welcome to the last meet and greet audience talk in the framework of the Roma Heroes Festival of the Independent Theatre. I think this was a very unique undertaking from independent theatre, showing the resilience of Romani theatre companies, content producers and creators during the COVID-19 crisis. So we have been witnessing a lot of creativity in terms of formats of different plays that they have put out. There was, for instance, a walking theater in Budapest, and also the different productions that they managed to premiere in the past couple of weeks. You can find the list of all the theater plays produced on their website. I will share the link, or I will ask someone to share the link in the chat and also under the streams. So this is the last one I'm moderating, and this is also this was the last premiere of the year. And I am a huge Franz Kafka fan, I have to tell you. And we're going to talk about the influence of Kafka. When I was a teenager, I was reading all Kafka novels, and this world just like really soaked me in. And I'm happy to hear about why you chose Kafka short story and the reference. But before that, let me just introduce my fellow speakers tonight. So I Can See You. This was the title of the play. You could see it with German and also with Hungarian and English subtitles. I think it's going to be available on the YouTube. And let me introduce you the Rroma Act troupe from Berlin. So hi there, nice to see you. I will try to pronounce your names as correctly as possible. So we have Rebecca on the left. Hi, Rebecca. In the middle, we have Slaviša. I'm hoping it was good enough. And Nebojša on the right. So Nebojša, you also saw in the play. Excellent acting, I have to say. I'm always a bit afraid when there is a play with only one actor, and that I'm losing focus and I'm losing, curiosity in 1 hour. This didn't happen this time, and this is the last working week of the year. So that's magic, I think. So congratulations. So how are you feeling? How was it to have an online premiere? I'm wondering how you're feeling. You said that all the messages are coming in and people are texting you. What were the reactions? How was it to see a premiere from your flat, or I don't know where you are actually, the three of you together? Are you breaking any quarantine regulations? So tell me all about how you felt.
We are in a flat.
Yeah, we are at home. So we are having lockdown in Germany too from today on. So all rules set, we are at home.
Yes. Yes. No, we get some messages now. I cannot pick up everything what they say, but but it's for me very interesting that the people had give it a good feedback. It was nice for me to hear, for us. Yes, and we see this show also of big screen now, and that was also the first time for me to see the show of big screen. Actually, I didn't want to see it for a couple of days. It was too much. I let down. Okay, then now I see it that yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Don't be that modest. I think it's a very big thing to produce a theater play during a lockdown, and especially this is not a very light-hearted, easy play either. So can you hear me? You're very leaning in to hear me. I can see that. So yeah, tell us a bit about yourselves. Because I know a little bit about your theater company. I used to live in Berlin, but there might be other people who are not familiar of the history of your company. And what's your role in the company? So Nebojša, we know what your role is pretty much after having watched this very claustrophobic play. But what about the others?
Yes.
Would you like?
Would you like?
Yes, I am. My role in the company is to disturb. I am disturbing, and sometimes is this funny, and sometimes not. This is my role, but and yes, I would like to say about the play and the feedbacks, and also for me. I think people need the time to think about it, and I also, and me too. And my role, I am. We grounded this Rroma Act group theater 2006 with Nebojša and not other people. And exactly. And then in this moment, each of us was universal soldier. So this is for me, it's very difficult to say what is precisely what is my role. I worked also like director, like player, actor, like dramaturg, and now in this play, like this Störung.
No. Disturbance.
Yeah, disturbance. Exactly.
No.
So you're the master disturber. That's good to have one like that in every group, I think. You're also an actor, right?
Yes. And theater demagogue.
Theater demagogue. So not a theater dramaturg, but theater demagogue. I love that. Rebecca, how are you managing these two people? What's your history? How long have you been working together?
No, they two are very inspiring, and I met Nebojša in Switzerland because I'm Swiss, grew up there, and so that's kind of I got into the theater world, and I'm helping them wherever I can, especially in the dramaturgical area because I'm still studying. I can help them with all the textual and dramaturgical work. So more or less.
How was the creation of this particular play? I can see you being a lot of times in this flat where you're right now. Was that the case? So the three of you coming together and working on it during the lockdown? Or is it a play that you put out, that you premiered already and you just readjusted for the online format? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, we actually had the premiere of a first adaptation of the play at the end of October at the Tag Theater in Berlin. And then, we made a second adaptation, during the lockdown light, especially for the Roma Heroes Festival. So, it was kind of not really planned, but in our mind to do like something in an apartment. And now the festival was the perfect occasion to do this.
So whose idea was it to go back to Kafka and also to create a perfect atmosphere of claustrophobia? We don't have enough claustrophobia this year in 2020, so you thought, why not add more to it? But actually, it was a very good reflection on this idea. And someone also mentioned this in the comment of claustrophobia, not just in a physical, primary sense of feeling, but like a mental claustrophobia. And you also said this in the synopsis of the play that this is a very direct parallel to nation states closing themselves in and going into this mental claustrophobia. So if you could just tell me a little bit about how the idea came and who likes Kafka from you. I can feel that maybe most of you, all of you like Kafka. You're very Kafkaesque today as well. Yeah, so just tell me a little bit about the creation and the idea and how you got from the creation to the actual Roma Heroes Festival.
Should I? Okay. Yes, I must tell this creation. We won. This was before 2 years ago. We wanted to make this Burrow, and then it was oder willst du übersetzen?
Ja.
It's better to translate, I think.
We tried.
Es gab viele Ideen, den Text zu realisieren.
Well, there were a lot of ideas to realize the text. He has these ideas since 2 years.
Und jetzt letztendlich nach 2 Jahren haben wir das gemacht, also als in Form vom Theaterstück in TAC.
Yeah, and then finally the ideas came. Were more close and developed to the project, which we had the premiere at the end of October, as I mentioned before, at the TAC Theater in Berlin.
For festival.
Also, actually for the festival, but then we had some technical problems.
Aber es war schon immer klar, dass wir mehrere Versionen von dem Stück haben wollen.
So it has been clear from the beginning on that there will be more than one adaptation of the piece.
Weil also man kann diesen Text oder überhaupt Kafka, finde ich, man kann es nicht rüberbringen, wenn es nicht mehrere Aspekte gezeigt werden.
Yeah, because Kafka shows so many aspects in his language and also in the images he produces with his languages that we thought, or our idea was, that you just can't make just one performance out of it. There's just too much in the language and in the picture Kafka creates and associates. So there is and will come other versions of the text.
Genau, und das gerade in der Wohnung, das war eigentlich eine alte Idee, weil das war, wir wollten das sowieso aufnehmen, es war aber jetzt musste das sehr schnell passieren, wegen dem Festival, und so haben wir jetzt so noch mal eine andere Adaption von dem Stück quasi in diese Wohnung inszeniert.
Yeah, so because of the festival and our technical problems regarding the performance at the TAC Theater, we kind of accidentally and finally got 2 adaptations out of one project, and yeah.
Ja, und Es war zufällig war natürlich auch Soft Lockdown. Hat auch gepasst irgendwie. Und natürlich war das auch, konnte man nur noch besser spüren, also den Text und überhaupt auch das Stück.
Well, yeah, it's actually a very tragic coincidence that the play and Corona falls kind of together, and Corona and the whole situation underlines one certain deep impact of the play and of Kafka's narration, and that was really very intense also for us working during this period on this play, but it was really a coincidence because we planned everything since 2 years.
Ja, aber es ist auch wichtig, dass es eigentlich nichts mit Corona zu tun hat.
But actually nothing has in common with Corona and the current situation.
I'm so surprised about that. I didn't know that you started this 2 years ago. So I thought that you were sitting at home and reading a lot of Kafka and seeing what's happening in the world, and let's make this play. Yeah, it is. It doesn't seem like a coincidence. Actually, it seems like like different things came together at the same time. Let's go ahead, please.
Yes, I want to say, this coincidence. Nothing is coincidence if you have something to do with Kafka, because the idea from Rroma Act Theater was actually this to show the things from different perspectives, and also like Roma, not to be in this ethno area. Then to show, to look at the society, to look at the human logic and instincts, and this connection between human logic and instincts and society are very good presented in Kafka literature, and we always make something from Kafka a long time ago, and that's why this is the idea or this discovery. Oh, we have a lot of comments with this guy. This started already a long time ago, and it is the situation now with Corona. This is coincidence, but it's actually exactly this what Kafka telling about. He telling about in how years ago actually about these phenomena, how society in special circumstances very hard produce a new parameters for ethic, for interaction, for system, and this is not dystopia. It's not dystopia. It's reality, yes. And that's why. And this is, of course, this idea with claustrophobic feeling, atmosphere. Yes, this is everything because of Kafka, but actually we have it now in life, in whole world. Yeah, the Corona is more known as Jesus Christus and Buddha together.
I try to be serious here, but you don't let me be serious that much. I wanted to actually reflect. I don't know if you define yourself as a Romani theater company. I mean, it's in your name as well. But I wanted to ask you about this actually. That I've seen a lot of theater plays during this Roma Heroes Festival, and in some of them, not all of them, but there is Roma life stories put on stage in a way. So that the person, the actor, and also the character, they are Roma people, whether women, men, young, old. And in a way, having watched this play with you, I think you only mentioned like Roma like once in the text, if I'm not mistaken. At one point. But in a way, it tells like so much about how like this mental claustrophobia, how states and institutions are treating Roma people and other minorities, and just like everyone, like this very dystopic thing that Kafka is very good at creating. But then Kafka makes you realize you're living that dystopia already, so that there's not such a big disconnect. So how do you relate to bringing on, it's a very stereotypical question, sorry, but focusing on Romani issues in your work generally? Are you more focused on, like a very critical stance, like criticizing the whole world and just like in this play, or do you also sometimes put on Romani life stories? So do you have an approach here? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Yes, it may and yes, this was, we talk a lot about this topic, especially now in time of Roma Heroes Festival, and this kind of conflict between Roma history or Roma stories themselves and not Roma stories and histories and topics. We had this conflict long time ago, and this is such a conflict. What do we are Roma theater or theater who talk about Roma, or Roma who talk about society? And this kind of conflicts is very similarly with the conflict that theater pedagogues, drama pedagogues have. This is also topic. What is important in theater pedagogy? More important, the process of working or the product? And if you start to think about it, what is important? This is what is most important, product or process? This is something like a labyrinth from this is there is no way for the both things are very important, process and product also. And if you take care about process, it doesn't mean that this product not important, or it doesn't mean that you don't have to have a high artistical
standard
issue. And this is exactly we can project it also on this question, Roma topics or stories and theater and art. And we noticed that we cannot run from our experience like Roma, but we don't have to close us in this ethnical question or social ethnical question or social cultural question. It is very important to make this what for you have interest, what is your personally or our interest, and to make also interaction with our world, with our society, and then this is art, and then anyway came this experience as Roma, this experience as discrimination, experience as social
exclusion.
Yes, and this is this. No. And this is I'm not sure if I succeed to explain.
You perfectly did. At least I could really relate to what you were saying. So I don't know if someone who is listening in has more questions around it, around the topic of, whether a company made up of Roma artists should identify, what's the benefit there, I think there's a lot of interesting questions around it. And for me, it was really interesting to look up other companies who also participated in the Roma Heroes Festival. There are so different philosophies behind each of them, I found, and I find that quite fascinating. Someone is describing themselves as a feminist, Romani feminist theater company, and how they try to, pursue that in their work. The other one, like you are more, I think, at least that's my perception, more working around these issues, but in a more abstract level, kind of like reinterpreting classics as well from a undeniably Roma or, like your very own personal perspective. So for me, it was a pleasure to see all these and get to know all these theater companies during the Roma Heroes Festival, especially for this, to see this variety in approaching how the world is basically in 2020 under COVID-19 with more and more repressive environments for not only Roma people, but also all of us and minorities especially. If I don't want you to talk more about the play, because I think people should be really seeing it if they want to have a very emotional, deep, reflective hour in this last chapter of the year. I recommend, and I don't like to overanalyze, a play without people seeing it or having watched it. So I wanted to ask you a bit more about Berlin, because I know you're in Neukölln and Berlin, and I used to live there. And I also see that a lot of Romani artists, not just in theater, but musicians, digital creators, musicians I already said. So everyone basically is gravitating towards Berlin these days. And especially, I think, in the theater world, there has been a boom. So we saw a mega production, Roma Army, when was it? Two years ago was it premiered, which was a huge success. There is a lot of cultural institutions, even Europeans in Berlin, like ERIAC opened its offices there. So there's a lot of things happening in Berlin. And a lot of people also think that Berlin and Germany as well is this heaven for multiculturalism, so multiculti, as you say, or Germans or people living in Germany say it. So what's the story there? Is it true? Because I also know that it's not that easy for minorities in general, but also Roma people neither to create their own arts in that scene. That was a very complex question. Sorry.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Germany and its cultural landscape and how Romani people are represented and are given opportunities? That's my ultimate question, basically.
We have very good development in Berlin, because Germany, yes, this is very important. I mean, we can talk about Berlin, about Germany we cannot talk, because there are big differences between areas and states. in Germany. But Berlin, we have a luck to see this development in Berlin. Like somebody on some exhibition said, some photo exhibition from Nino Pushia, somebody said Berlin is like a Mecca for Roma art, you know. And this was last year, or and this actually we in this time when we started in Neukölln, and this was 2006 with theater. This was not like this. Actually, very low, and these things happens like with Verspätung, yeah. Like echo, you know, you say something and then after 10 years come something back, and this is actually what happens now in Berlin. Some people started already with this cultural, I have to say, movement or quite almost a small revolution. They started in 1991, and this was a lot of those people was from Yugoslavia in this time, refugees from ex-Yugoslavia, and people who was here, they start already, and then of course there was also artists and Roma artists and in Berlin or German Sintis and so, but it was not like very present. And then we started also then 2001 and then 2006 with this theater. This theater was one alternative and first open space with Roma culture in Berlin. This was not Theater Pralipe was 10 years long. The only professional theater, Roma theater in Europe. In Europe, yes. This was in Russia, and was is one. But and after these 10 years, they finish it, and then you have in the moment, I don't know, of course, another professionals, but I don't know if we have something like professional theater institution. This is, I don't know. So what I wanted to say now, of course, we have also generation, the young generation, for instance. Some fellows came to Berlin because they heard, there is Roma Theater, and these fellows organized youth projects, European projects, and in Berlin. And now we have situation that these participants from these youth projects working in a Roma organization, and they are basis for these activities. This is very interesting, and this happens in last 20 years, or 10 years, something like this. And of course now German state, Berlin, like is of course open. It's open. I don't want to generalize because we have also different topics. We had a lot of problems with refugees question from Roma, from Yugoslavia or another. And this was hard. This was also struggling. This was not like for culture. For culture, at the moment, and in last couple of years, Berlin have interest. And now at the moment, it's like we have this landscape of different organization and artistical initiative, but there is still nothing what is institutional and nothing what is supported from Berlin to work continuously to work, because only like this can be really can be made one healthy base, not only for Roma minority, but also for everybody in Berlin, because this is profit for everybody.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about, actually. So I was living in Berlin, and during those 4 years, I think I've met more than 100 Romani artists, you know, whether in sculptures or painters or actors. I've never met that many people from arts, a Romani background in my life, and I think it was amazing. Like this happened recently, not too long ago, and I wanted to ask you about this: the importance of coming together from the different corners of Europe and beyond for Romani artists. I think for a very long period of time, there was hardly any possibilities. So Roma content creators and artists could not really get together. But now I see that this is a changing a bit. And I think independent theater is, for instance, doing very good job in bringing people from different theater companies together. How do you see yourself in all of this? I'm supposing you're liking it. So yeah, why is it important, you think, to occupy such a space in the European landscape of culture?
Yes. Does somebody have idea, or should I proceed?
Yeah.
Okay. I am now with monologue, you know, because
It's your turn.
Yes, this is very, very important. Is especially for Roma topic is to make a transparent. That we are not, nobody can be really isolated. Nobody, we are actually in the same mechanism. I don't want to say is this good or bad, but without categorizing. So we are together, but of course, to be present in artistical, cultural society is very important for minorities and also for Roma, especially because of Verständigung. Verständigung. Understanding, yes, thank you. Yeah, then
Verständigung, my very excellent German activated itself.
Very good. Because of understanding that everyone can be Roma, or everybody is Roma, you know. And this is the projection for cliches, for Vorurteile,
Stereotypes.
Yes. You know, this is the easiest thing to get some minority without economical and military force, and to say, okay, they are bad guys. You know, if you are bad like Pinocchio, then you get nothing, like Roma. But if you want to be really boy, you know, and then, you know, this is one educational example. No, I make a joke, but something is also there. This is really, actually, this presence from Roma in artistic cultural community is important because there is interaction and analysis of our society. And without this kind of communication, and I think it's unfortunately still like this, that this artistical communication is the better one as political communication, especially for Roma topics. And that's why I think it's very, very important to work on it for the future. Also, without Corona.
Yeah, without Corona, let's hope for that. That's my last question, actually. Like, what did you learn personally from this year, if you did anything? Sorry, my cat just jumped here. So what did you learn during making this play, readapting for the online sphere, about yourselves as artists, as a collective, working together, about each other, and how are you carrying this forward to 2021, hopefully without Corona?
Oh, hello. Yes.
The cat arrived.
Yes. Okay, I can start. For me personally, it was a really great experience to work now for digital media and to work in one film theater, and in this kind of circumstances also, everything very minimal, and also we noticed also that this is a good way to develop something, like to be focused on some substance, and then you to find Überschneidungspunkte.
Oh God.
To find
Tangent.
to find the similarities. To find similarities with own topics or units, you know. And this was before another way. You want to make some interest for you from yourself, and then you search something what is good in this way. But this is not necessary. You can find almost everywhere what is your topic. You know. You know what I mean.
I think we do. We'll have to leave soon. I just read a comment that someone left, and I very much agree with it. I want to let you know that I greatly enjoyed the performance, and I think the choice of Kafka is excellent to underline some kind of universal language of exclusion. Yeah, that's why what I tried to hint at before as well. Thank you for the discussion and being here. I want to ask you, Rebecca, as well, and Nebojša as well, what are your plans for I know it's not the year for planning, as we have learned previously. No one is buying a calendar anymore. But yeah, seriously talking, what are you planning for 2021 and beyond, with your company, with international cooperations, with your artistry? So
soll ich kannst du übersetzen?
Ja, genau. Wir machen es zusammen. We do it together.
Actually, eigentlich, ich weiß es nicht.
Well, yeah, our plans.
No.
They also started actually more than 2 years ago. Like you have such a huge and artistic base from the Rroma Act Club Theater here in Berlin, and now you have certain ideas how to develop.
The next step.
Next step, and actually they are initialized with these 2 performances.
Yes.
So.
And this is something about theater hermeneutic.
Yes. So the idea is actually the combination of theater and hermeneutics.
Can you tell a little bit more about that? I'm not sure. I know it 100% what that is.
Yeah, I try. Well, hermeneutics, basically said, is like the science of understanding. Comes from textual interpretations, and well, our what we want to do is to focus more on the process of understanding and what is in common, what everybody has in common with everybody, like the.
So what Kafka is writing about, basically. Yeah. Okay. Wow, so good luck with your plans, and I really hope to see you in person, whether in Budapest or Berlin. I really hope we can finally go to theater to watch theater pieces again, and I also hope that there's going to be a 5th Roma Heroes Festival next fall, and I would love to host you in this city. I very much enjoyed this conversation and the play as well. So everyone, I think the play will be remaining available for 24 hours or maybe a bit more on the YouTube channel, so you can watch that. And we have a question.
Yeah, do you allow me? Hello, everybody. Hello, Roma Heroes. It was great to see you. I'm happy. What an enrichment for me, what an enrichment for everybody who had the chance to watch this excellent play, this performance. I really loved it. And as you said at the beginning, Kafka is not easy. Kafka makes you think, it lasts. And whenever you see a play that helps you think about it and you see what's behind it, that makes you, even if it's sad, it makes you happy. And it really made me happy to see all of you. And I'm so happy that even in this, well, I have no idea how I can say what kind of a time we have to go through, but you are active, you don't give up, you go for it. That's where you're coming from. You are Roma Heroes. Thank you so much. And greetings from Switzerland. I love you all. Happy, Merry Christmas, whatever. And where is it? Congratulations again. Thank you so much for being part of your performance. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that feedback. Yeah, Jan, I think your name is Jan, or that's what I'm saying. You also want to say something. Hello.
Hello, greet you all, and I'm happy to see this performance from Berlin. I had the privilege of living in Berlin and enjoyed the culture very much. This is was always, as we say in German, Berlin bleibt Berlin. Berlin has always, in every system, been the oasis, the permissive site of resistance. Resistance in the meaning of making it possible to being yourself and express and develop subversive ideas. And I just sort of popped into this performance today. So actually, I didn't know what play was going on. I was thinking, is this Thomas Bernhard? And then I thought, oh, it's Kafka. Okay. But it's claustrophobia anyway. And I think this is what unites in a way, because it's also I mean, claustrophobia, everybody has to experience this in these days of COVID-19. In that days, of course, the Jewish background of Kafka had its importance, and for Thomas Bernhard, as I was referring to in my association, that was his dissatisfaction of being part of this system, this culture. And I think this is something which can unite across the ethnic boundaries and everything of that, this meaning of resisting building out of the claustrophobia or something, and this, as you say, the happiness and joy. So thank you very much. Those were just loose associations from Sweden.
Very good that you shared them with us. Thank you so much. I also really hope that our societies will learn from this collective experience. I'm a bit skeptical about that, but I'm happy to be challenged. Let's hope that. If there is any other remarks, or you just want to congratulate to the team of Rroma Act, then prepare your videos, please. In the meantime, I just wanted to reinforce that the Independent Theatre is also running a fundraising campaign to be able to publish the second version of its drama collection book. That was a very rough translation from their Hungarian fundraising materials. So it's a book with dramas made by Roma people, and they need your financial support in order to publish that in the future. So all the plays that were premiered during this festival, they were provided for free. So if now you want to compensate for that experience of watching this play or any of the other 5 or 6 plays, then please go to their Facebook page and donate to Independent Theatre, also so that they can bring together Romani artists from different parts of Europe and beyond, and produce plays like the one, very good one that we have seen today. I'm looking at the audience in the Zoom chat if there is any other remarks. So this was the last screening, last premiere, and also the last meet and greet of the year. But hopefully we will meet in person next year, and you don't have to bear with my very weird online voice. I don't know if you have these as actors, actually, that you hear your voice, recorded via Zoom and everything, like so we, as if you're out of your own universe and self-perception. I spent quite some time in Zoom this year, so I want to get rid of it. Anyhow, it was a pleasure to talk to you, and I really hope to see you next year in Berlin, Rroma Act Gruppe. So thank you so much for tuning in, and please visit the YouTube channel of the Independent Theatre, also the Facebook site, and you will see what plays are still on. You can also recommend this one to other people in your circles. So, thank you. Dankeschön und schönen Abend noch.
Ja, vielen Dank.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.